Brian, how long have you been playing the guitar?
We're hoping he starts soon.
Yeah, yeah man, since the 80s.
Did you practice today?
Yeah, no, I started when I was 13, and it was like the late 80s, and it's the era of all the shredders and stuff, and I
was his idol.
Yeah, I didn't really get into that style of guitar playing, like the 80s shredders, because I was like listening to like 70s stuff, like Led Zeppelin and Deep Purple and Pink Floyd and Kiss even. But yeah, so I felt like a fish out of water.
Mott the Hoople.
Yeah, Mott the Hoople. David Bowie. I felt like a fish out of water.
Britney Spears.
During all that stuff, all that period, and I ended up just kind of getting into more songwriting and things like that. So that was kind of my journey, basically. And I grew up in a small town in Illinois and then moved to Phoenix when I was about 23 or 24, and started to start my career up in a new town where I didn't know anybody. So I started answering ads and little by little meeting people along the way and starting to make a career in music here. And I think that's where Greg had seen me in some old band of mine from the late 90s.
I saved him from obscurity.
What's the name of that band?
South 17.
South 17.
Plucked me from obscurity.
And the funny part is when I was looking for a guitar player for this, Michael, I said, I saw a guy one time that I thought was really good that would fit in. I don't know his name, so I ended up calling up the singer from South 17, Scott, right? Scott Hammond. And I said, what was that guy's name? And he named a different guy. And I said, blonde hair? And he goes, no, this guy has brown hair. I said, no, blonde hair, not particularly nice looking.
Oh, Ryan!
Yeah, Ryan, he said. And so I called up Ryan, and he knew who I was, we may have even met, I don't remember.
Yeah, but, I met you through Scotty once.
And he didn't like it, so.
Yeah, don't take me over to that house again.
So I said, hey, I got this thing going, do you want to do it? And that's how that kind of happened.
Yeah, and it sounded very intriguing to me because of we were saying earlier, like the songs are lengthy, there's like long instrumental pieces, and I thought that was such a great challenge. And I've always been like a singer-songwriter type in my old bands and stuff, and the one thing I didn't have in my records that I'd done stylistically was a big guitar album. You know, guitar is a huge passion, it has been ever since I could remember, and it seemed to have taken a back seat for a long time. And so I was really excited to make this record as a sort of like, oh yeah, he can play guitar too, because I was always singing and writing and and all that stuff. So it gives me an opportunity to kind of stretch out a little bit.
You can't get over on your looks forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, some of us can.
Yeah.
The funny part was when I asked him to join, I said, and I was playing him the songs, I said, look, there's lots of solos in here, and you're going to have to, if you have chops, you'll get the chance to use them in here because the songs are, between 4 and 6 minutes long. And there is intro solos and longer solos and outro solos and solo. So,
yeah.
You're going to have to kind of have your ducks in a row to do it. And Ryan was the right guy.
Definitely.
Yeah, I was excited about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm working here, you get to play a lot of guitars. So which
Yeah.
one is your favorite?
Wow. Let's see.
That one.
There's a Gibson R9 up there. I can't go wrong with those.
So now I know which one to make sure it isn't missing.
And that Strat over there, that's the Custom Shop 68 Strat. Because I need both of those guitars. You hear it on the record, like I'm going back and forth between Fender guitars and Gibson guitars and stuff like that. And that was one of the elements that we all really enjoyed, creating all these different tones. Whatever's appropriate for the song.
The cool thing with Ryan is we can be doing a song and I can say, I hear something like, and I might say, I hear some Ritchie Blackmore sort of thing in there. And without me saying exactly what Ritchie Blackmore thing it is, he'll know what it is.
Yeah.
He'll play it. And I can even say some obscure, I hear some Mick Ronson thing in there, or I can hear some Zal Clemenson and from Alex Harvey Band, and he'll know, based on what part of the song we're talking about, he'll know exactly what to play. I'll hear some Uli Roth, and he'll play it.
Yeah, my favorite was, you said to me, what I hear here is Dark Lady. And
which is a Scorpion song.
Yeah, without batting an eye, I go, okay, get it. And he didn't even say the band. It was a song. It was, it's Uli John Roth's 70s era Scorpions. It's from In Trance. And so he just had to say Dark Lady. So I kind of, okay, I know what you mean. Because like I said, like when I was a kid in the 80s, I mean, I was exposed to a lot of that 80s stuff, you know, all those bands, like, who was that band? Badlands? I don't know.
Doesn't ring a bell.
But I was listening to the 70s stuff. I really
Right.
was. Yeah.
We were playing someplace, somewhere, and on the sign of the building it said, "Bad livers."
Bad Livers.
All right. Damn it. Missed it by that much.
Boy, that must be a hard drinking band.
The interesting part is, I've obviously been playing a long time, and actually longer than Ryan's been on the planet.
True.
But
True story.
I've had very few guitar players where there's kind of this Vulcan mind meld thing going on, where all I have to do is move the music in a direction that I want, and he'll know what it is, and vice versa. I had that with Jake and a couple other guys through my whole career, which, you know, I started in 1971, or was it 1871? Who was president? Wasn't Lincoln president then? And whenever Lincoln was president. So I enjoy that kind of unspoken thing. Like I said, I had it with Jake, and we enjoyed kind of being able to weave in and out of each other's parts musically and kind of take stuff in different directions. And I have that with Ryan, and that really is one of the reasons that I enjoy doing this so much, is because there's kind of this unspoken musical something
Yeah.
that actually works without having to talk about it too much.
Right.
He doesn't play what he plays, and vice versa. It's a weaving thing for sure.
And sometimes he knows if I'm doing something, he knows exactly without doing what I'm doing, he knows what the counter of that would be without us discussing it.
And we're listening to each other. That's the biggest piece of it. You listen to one another. You know, you can't just be in your own head the whole time. You got, you know.
I don't think I've ever heard a guitar player say that.
Yeah, well, that's, you know.
This comes from a singer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, I got one ear on Greg and one ear on Jimmy. Sorry, Michael, not really paying attention. But
Are you doing anything?
okay, none of us do.
It works for us.
But yeah, so
I
it's
forgot you were
important.
here.
So you
Hey, who's the guy? Who's that? Oh, our singer. I forgot.
I thought he was a
Typically
roadie.
odd man out during rehearsal.
Who's the guy with the little short socks? Oh, that's Michael, the singer. It never stops.
So you do these videos in the store here.
Oh, yeah, I
playing
do.
guitar. So,
Oh, you mean the guitar ones? Never mind.
yeah.
Yeah.
So what is it that you're doing?
No!
Are you just like kind of?
So, yeah, Greg sprung that on me out of the blue one day. I was like, Greg, what do you think if we moved that guitar over there? I'll tell you what we're going to do is you're going to be on YouTube and you're going to demo guitars. And I was like, okay, I think we can do that. So, and that's what we started doing. So it's really fun. It's me and him.
I'm the cameraman.
He's the cameraman who's just kind of off camera.
Making stupid comments.
Exactly.
Something I lettered in high school.
So I'm sitting and telling you all about the guitar, and I'm playing a little bit, and it's informative, it's goofy, you know, it's definitely like this interview.
A guy came in one, yeah. It's a lot like this,
It's more
except you can
informative.
see me. A guy came in one time and said he'd seen the videos. And he said, you know, gave me his card. He said, I could do it with his cameras and it'll be really high tech. Yours is kind of low tech and you know, I could do it. It would be very professional. And I said, I don't want that. I want it exactly how we do it. I want it to be lo-fi. I want it to be two guys just doing this,
For fun.
doing it for the fun of it. I mean, obviously he can play, right? And, you know, I get to kind of make jokes off camera, and people, at first, some people were like, and then they started kind of getting into it, and it's actually kind of taken off, and so.
Yeah, it's doing well.
It's doing well, and we enjoy doing it. We do a couple a week.
Yeah,
And,
I know some, you know, YouTube comments are the worst. It's like a cesspool. One guy commented,
People are just mean anyway.
because we don't rehearse this stuff, it's just like, all right, I'll do a little research about the vagaries of the guitar, but in terms of what I'm going to play and what we're actually going to talk about, it's sort of like ad-libbed. So some guy comments like, maybe you should rehearse these first.
That was me.
What's the fun in that? That's no fun. I don't want to rehearse and go,
That
okay,
just-
and now you say, shut up, Ryan. I'll smirk and play Montrose.
The
That's not
end.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys
Credits.
mean.
Wave. Remember to wave.
Finn.
So you have the internet.
Ryan
trolls,
smiles here.
You got the internet trolls and you
Yeah.
got the haters, and
Yeah.
they just
Yeah, but-
they just want to say something just to get a rise out of people.
Yeah, it's like, how bored are you?
If someone that makes that comment obviously doesn't get what it is.
They don't get it.
They don't get exactly how we're doing this anyway. So I like that part of
And
it.
they're probably on Facebook. Oh.
I mean, this is
And
bizarre
they'll
guitar.
probably make those comments on Facebook.
Yeah, for every
Yes.
post that they see. This is bizarre guitar. So for us to do it any other way, I mean, kind of the way that we do this, if Bob was alive now, Bob and I had the same kind of his Jerry Lewis to my Dean Martin sort of thing, and people responded to that. So if Bob was alive now, we were making the videos, they would probably be similar to the way Ryan and I make them now, and except now I'm Jerry Lewis and he's
Yeah, I was
Dean
going to
Martin.
say, you're more Lewis. I'm
Yeah.
Martin.
So-
Yeah. So Crash Street Kids, was that,
It's my old
how long
band.
ago was that?
We started Crash Street Kids in 2004. We did 3 records and then a double live album. This is how 70s we were. Because that's what you did in the 70s. You made your 3 records and you did your double live
And
album.
you broke the band on the double live album.
Broke it.
Yeah. Well, that didn't really
Did
happen.
that work?
And that didn't really work out. But and then we did another album after that. So we were pretty busy. It was sort of a throwback to like 70s glam and power pop. We were kind of like T-Rex, Mott the Hoople, Bowie, more like kind of more Cheap Trick kind of stuff. You know, it was super fun. We used to put on these big extravagant shows and things like that around Phoenix, and it was super fun. And then, you know, I think I got a little burnt out because I was the main songwriter of everything, and we did those records in a very short period of time. That last record we did was maybe 2010. So we did 4 records and a double live record in 6 years. And then we had extra material that we still have unreleased, which is another album's worth of stuff. So each week I was coming in with more
Now, were
songs.
you singing?
I was a singer, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I
Yeah,
sang
I'm
and
like,
played
it's
guitar.
been a while, and I don't remember, because I did go see you guys at
Yeah,
Cooperstown.
you may have seen us during the recording of the live album because you saw us at Alice Cooperstown. And that's where
And
we
I
recorded
had
the live
like a VIP pass, and
Oh,
you guys
yeah.
all signed it. I got a CD. So,
Right on.
Yeah,
You're my hero.
I see. You're
Yeah,
not
and
the
I'm
only
like-
famous one.
But you know, my friends.
Did you ever know that you were my hero?
And I didn't even know who Crash Street Kids was. You know?
Yeah, that's more like it.
My friend Lisa was a big fan, and she's like, go with me to watch this band, whatever, blah blah blah.
It was a lot of fun.
So-
I couldn't go back and do that again because I feel like I took like 10 years off my life doing so because we were partying pretty good back then.
Yeah.
But it was super fun. I wouldn't trade it. Great memories.
Yeah.
And we're all still great friends. So we get together and hang out all the time.
Hi, AD.
Hi, AD. Hi, Ricky. Hi, Duke.
I mean, one of the things about Ryan, what he brings songwriting wise is he kind of has a little of that kind of pop sensibility to it.
Yeah.
And so he'll bring material in, and then I mess it all up with my ugly 70s stuff.
Which is great. I
Which
like
is
that combination.
which the combination of it really actually works good because out of the blue is something that has a little bit of a pop sort of feel to it, and I like pop as well. But we'll throw in something that almost completely out of left field, but it still ends up working. So we listen to it and we go, boy, that shouldn't work at all, but it sure does. And so by the time you take what he does and what I do, and then what we all add into it, it actually it's different than the first record, but it's interesting how two styles can make that work.
Yeah. It was great when we were doing the Kings of Dust record, when we got to background vocals, like, oh yeah, Ryan can sing.
I can
And by the
sing.
way,
Wow.
by the way, Michael,
Go ahead, let it out.
Do the
You
words-
think it's a secret?
Do the words power trio mean anything?
but we'd like to still record in the studio. Can we do that? You're not a bad engineer. Can we still use the studio for the same price we did on the other one?
So, do you have a favorite venue that you like to play at?
Me? I don't know about a favorite venue, but I've traveled across the country a bunch of times, and I really love, my favorite two cities are New York City and New Orleans. I
What about
love
here?
New Orleans. Phoenix is great too, but I feel like I've played here so much, there's
Yeah.
no, you know,
Well,
the bloom is off the rose.
You're right. And
But
pretty much all the
Cooperstown,
good places
Alice
kind of
Cooperstown.
Shut down.
Oh, that was a
Yeah,
great place.
yeah,
Yeah.
Alice Cooperstown was a magnificent club.
And they just got it right before they closed.
Yeah, yeah, we played there
Yeah,
so
I was
much.
kinda shocked. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know why you closed.
If they'd only sold a few more Randy Johnson footlong hot dogs,
Yeah.
they could have stayed.
They didn't charge enough for them.
They were that close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Synergy's
So,
over.
how about a least favorite? Do you have a least favorite venue that you don't like?
There's a place in Minnesota. Wow. There's a place in Minnesota that the load-in is upstairs,
Oh,
and you got to take it up
It's
a
Cincinnati.
narrow.
It's Cincinnati.
No, this is Minnesota. I remember.
Annie's.
And it's a little narrow. It's a big club upstairs, but the stairway's so narrow, and it's turning, trying to get SVT cabinets and drum case. We had to leave drum cases outside.
Might be Ryan's in St. Paul.
It's our roadies all quit during this. We had to load the gear out ourselves.
so Jimmy, when did you begin playing the drums?
Yeah, win, Jimmy.
When?
When I joined the
That
band.
was shortly after the earth cooled, if I remember correctly. I was 12 when I started playing. I started out as a guitar player.
Obviously good at it.
Actually, I was. So there.
Put that in your snipe and poke it.
And then, much to Greg's chagrin, I went to see Kiss when I was 12 years old. And
You're never going to get out of this.
Don't
I
care.
thought, well, I really think I should be a drummer.
Doesn't he look kind of like the cat?
Yeah, right. And so yeah, I started playing pretty much the day after that show. I went around the house and got all kinds of boxes, and I remember setting them up on my bedroom floor, the smallest box, and I got around these bigger boxes. We had a clothes hamper that was made of bamboo, and when you struck it, it sounded like a nice closed hi-hat. So I used that, and I
Still use
sat
it?
in my room. I did. In fact, we recorded that on the first record.
Right.
He says, Jimmy, I'm not sure I like that hi-hat sound. I said, hold on, I'll be right back. And brought in the
It's bamboo.
It's bamboo. You can't lose with bamboo, man.
It's the finest bamboo ever made.
Ever. And just started playing the records. And then a buddy of mine in school had a drum kit that he was selling for $30. I convinced my mom that it would be a good investment, and the rest is history.
He was right.
I started playing professionally when I was 14, and it was funny because my mother knew some guys in a country band, and they were looking for a drummer. She goes, "Well, you should hear my son." And,
What's professionally mean?
I'll let you know when I get
it was pretty bizarre, I think, for both me and the other guys in that band, because they were all probably in their 60s.
Oh my God.
And
So
I was-
nothing's changed.
yeah, exactly. I'm still playing with these old
He's
guys.
come full circle.
And I was 14, and I'm playing, these old Merle Haggard tunes and stuff. I mean, the country that we were
With
playing.
double bass.
Yeah, right. Was the cool country, the old school stuff. It was actually a lot of fun. It's funny that you mentioned the bass drum, though. The singer would always let me know if I was getting a little heavy on the kick drum. He'd be playing, and he'd just turn the side and do this.
We do that with Beck, but that means you're out. Get out.
So it was kind of funny. But, yeah, and it was cool. I mean, I was paid $50 a night and, you know, back,
That's more than some guys make now.
Yeah.
back in the
right.
covered wagon
Nothing has
days, that
changed.
was a lot of money. So,
You could buy yourselves 40 acres of land, a couple mules with that.
so yeah.
Me, your biggest influence.
Yes. Actually, I've got a few guys that were probably instrumental in how I ended up where I'm at today. John Bonham, I've always liked what he does. I liked Neil Peart from Rush. I don't know anybody who's got a catalog of chops like that guy had. Probably my biggest influence would be Jeff Porcaro from Toto. And he also did a lot of session stuff. He's worked with a lot of people and a lot of different types of music. Just very liquid drummer. And I was
Actually,
I always just
gonna-
loved his approach.
that's one of the reasons I approached Jimmy. Because I wanted someone, Jimmy didn't play like the standard rock drummer.
Right.
He played completely different, had a completely different feel. I mean, the feel was great, but the way he approached it was different. And I didn't want to do the standard, because the kind of material we were doing was very 70s, but I wanted a different kind of avenue that he would provide rhythmically and groove-wise, and that's exactly what we got. So, and without him ever telling me that Porcaro was a big influence, that's what I saw in his playing, and I thought, boy, that would be really cool if you had someone like that playing that kind of thing in our heavy rock thing. Carry on.
We went through several drummers with the three of us.
Yeah,
That were all,
You're good drummers.
yeah, good drummers.
But I was looking for something
That were playing
different.
like this.
I wanted something
and Jimmy
different.
plays like this.
Stands out.
And it's completely a different feel.
Every drummer we had was a great drummer,
Was a good drummer.
in their
Yeah.
own right. But what I was looking for this was just something that was way off the grid. Something that people would definitely know that it's not your standard sort of thing. Not that the other guys we had were standard. Jimmy just comes at it from a different thing. Jimmy and I played in another cover band together called Sonny Jim, and the guitar player would do a solo, and Jimmy and I would just take off, and we would take the song in directions that no one ever thought it could be taken at, which is why I got kicked out of that band as well.
Yeah, it got us in a little hot water. I'll tell you what, though, that time that he and I played together was really cool for me because rarely do you start playing with somebody and there's a instant, oh yeah, okay, I know where he's going, I feel where he's coming from, and you can dance on that. And so it was cool back then when I was first introduced to this material. Went to Michael's studio and says, hey, I want you to hear some of this stuff.
Yeah, now that you're in the band, you should probably hear some of the material.
Yeah.
Now we're recording a record, you might want to listen to songs.
Yeah. The first thing that blew me away, quite frankly, was Ryan's guitar playing.
Well, thank you.
And I asked Michael, my first thing is this Ryan? He's like, yeah. I said, okay. But for me, the tracks that I was listening to, the guys that were playing, they were good drummers, but they weren't getting it. And that's nothing against them. I think just this material called for something different than they were prepared to bring to the table.
Yeah.
And it felt literally, instantly home to me. I told him, I said, oh my God, this is my wheelhouse. This is what I do. This is,
Yeah, first rehearsal, we were all going, oh, God.
yeah.
I mean, we could have made the record with any of the other guys, and it still would have been a good record because they are good drummers. It's just I just wanted something different. I'm going to interject a funny story. So when I moved back here, I got a hold of Jimmy to start playing, and I said we should put and he wasn't in a band, and neither was I. And I said we should put an ad out in the New Times.
We did New Times, yeah.
And
As a rhythm
and
section.
Jimmy said, well, what would we say? And I said, I got it. So, so I put in
Famous
there,
last words.
so I put in there, does your drummer suck? Does your drummer and bass player
Player
suck?
suck?
Are you sick of them? Would you like something different? Call up. You want something, you know. And so,
And of course, he includes my phone number in the ad.
Oh,
so we start getting phone calls from drummers and bass players going, what's your problem? Man, what are you doing? I'm going to lose it. What kind of stupid ad is that? You guys suck and all this stuff. And out of that, some guys called and we went and checked out this one guy that he still plays with in his band now in the Crown Kings, Casey. And we went and played with him, and we didn't tell him anything about me, my resume, or about Jimmy's. We just went down there and did our thing. And he had a drummer and bass player, and the operative phrase there was had one, because after he played with us, that drummer and bass player, they didn't like us very much because they had seen the ad as well. We got all kinds of traction from this crazy ad that I put in there, and
It was fun.
but you know, it's not baloney if you can back it up.
Amen.
Now they're all.
Jimmy's always telling me,
That's that guy.
and he's a bizarre guitar, I'm going down there.
I
Come
couldn't
on.
help but notice that Jimmy's in the Crown Kings, and yet you're not.
No,
What happened there? Did you get fired?
I did. I did get fired because apparently
I've lost
I
track. Is
played
that the sixth band he's been fired.
I
just
played
during this interview?
one bass note too many.
One.
One.
You're fired.
Don't
One.
do it.
Here's why I got kicked out. The band was called Sunny Jim. Here's why I got kicked out. A couple of reasons. One is I tend to, I'm the worst cover bass player on the planet. I really am. Because I won't follow any of the rules. I get bored, and so I start making up my own rules. So not only don't I read the book, I don't even have the book. And number two, we'd be playing these songs, and ESPN Sports Center would be on in the bar, and we'd be playing these songs, and the guy Casey wrote some great songs, and I always liked his songs. But while we were playing these songs and these cover songs, I'd be watching Sports Center, not paying any attention. I'd be singing, you know, some kind of wonder. Oh man, Mark McGuire just hit a home run. Yeah, some kind of. So there were a number of issues, and they were my fault.
So Crown King, that's a band you're in right now too?
It's a cover band I play in, local guys, the Crown Kings. Casey and I, from
Sunny Jim,
all the way back then,
they stayed together.
we've stayed together.
And left me out.
Yeah, left Greg,
So Sunny Jim was Crown King.
Turned into Crown King.
turned into Crown
Right,
Kings.
I got
Yeah, and yeah, we've been playing around the valley. We've done, you know, little road trips, but like just single one-offs and stuff like that. And we've been doing it now for a little over 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I've been kicked out of the band for 20 years.
It still hurts.
Damn it.
Still hurts.
Hold me.
You got some serious bruises going on back
Can
there.
I switch seats?
So, you know, do you have any local or favorite local bands here?
Okay.
Like, do you guys ever go out and see any of these local bands?